there's a fine line you have to walk, right? So,
Yeah.
so for example, as a woman, my trauma would be different than a man's trauma, right?
Fair enough.
And so as a woman, whether it's in the Middle East or anywhere else, there's a certain level of that trauma that's relatable to all women that,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of lessons and things that we learn that we can, all learn from. And I also believe that as women, like we're not free until we're all free, right? So I
Mm.
can love my people, I can love my country, I can love the Middle East, and just like I love America, I can always say, hey, this is not right, that's not cool, we're better than that, and that's not what our religion even says in the first place, right? But more so, it's like if I'm speaking of my personal like trauma as a woman and trying to find a way to make it funny, relatable, and also a remember like I was in the 90s in some of these things. So also make it, an understanding of the times,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
saying that these were the times and the times now are different, right? These, and like in a way, the times now are much more similar. Like we're much more similar now in the Middle East and in America, I think, than we kind of ever were. Like because of social
Mm.
media, because of we didn't have that stuff, then. So I think there's like I have women in the Middle East that are fans that are like, this is relatable to us. So I think that sure there can be an aspect where people can take it and twist it just like anything and say like, look, like you guys, but at the same time, it's like you can see, comedians talking about terrible things that happen in America, terrible things that happen to them.
Yeah.
And under other religions, they're Catholic, they're like there's a lot of comedians that talk about Catholic abuse. you
Mm.
know there's a lot of
Yeah.
like I hear a lot of Irish Catholic people talk about that. And so it's
Ooh.
like it's a real thing. Like it always gives me pause too, because I'm like, oh, I kind of forget about that because it's not my experience. But and they were also in the 90s and it was a different experience for us. I'm Gen X.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that kind of aspect. And I make it a point to let people know that it's not like, hey, this wasn't just like last week. Like I wasn't just, like out of but yeah, there is an aspect of that. It could be, but ultimately, like you can't, you, it's like, if that's my story and that's my expression, the best I can do is really try to make it as representative as possible and as funny as possible so that
Yeah.
people take it in the right way.
Yeah, totally. And keep
Mm.
in mind that everyone has their own perceptions of it. Said might have his own perception of something abusive that happened to him
Yeah.
when he hears versus when I hear Abu Yusuf, I think of the father of my friend Yusuf.
Abu Yusuf. There used to be a very there used to be an artist in the Middle East called Abu Yusuf. I don't know if
I
do you
don't
guys
know.
know this? He was
No.
so popular in the 90s, and he was the first Arabic rapper. He was like this rapper in Jordan, and he used to rap. No, you guys will have to look this
The
up.
references are all in the 90s يعني شوي صعبة انه
Okay, but I'm just saying, like,
Abu
this is
Yusuf.
history. I'm giving you history, and you're refusing the history. Okay,
No, tell us.
first
No,
Arabic
no, we'll
rap.
accept. Oh, no, no. Send. Yes. Okay.
First Arabic rap. Okay,
Wait.
this was a man
Abu
named
Yusuf.
Abu Yusuf who used to say, "Amman irbit bag'a suwalah." Everybody talk about Abu Yusuf. Are you kidding me? That's genius. Okay. We were blasting that in the streets. Arabs were so proud. We had our own rap. Okay. And the guy was calling himself Abu Yusuf. Okay. Which by the way is really rap because it's really hip hop because that's just like Daddy Yusuf. Like,
Daddy
right? It's like
Yusuf, Papa
Yusuf
Yusuf.
Daddy. Okay. Daddy of
Yep, yep.
Yusuf. So that was like the most like hip, like in the 90s, we barely were getting hip hop. So it was like every time I hear Abu Yusuf, that's the only thing that, and my grandfather was Abu Yusuf. May he rest in
Which
peace.
one?
May he rest in peace. But Abu Yusuf as an artist, I'm telling you, he had like
Wait.
a whole, you got it? Did you find it?
I think so. Wait.
Said, you're so
Is
funny.
this him?
This is one of them. Yeah. But this is one of them. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny.
This is like one of them. And then he had it was, I think it was called Amman Irb. I don't remember what the song was. It was just called Abu Yusuf, but it was literally just him saying city names.
Oh,
Okay. And I was like, genius. Arabs will eat this up. Okay. So we crave entertainment.
Yep.
That's the other thing. That's why it's like the laughter aspect of it is important, because sure, these are tough topics, but if you're going to deliver them, laughter's the best way. And people are going to come in with biases, and they're going to want to think about it with their perspective. That's on them.
Yeah. And keep in mind that when we go through something rough, we want to talk about it. Like, it makes it worse for you to keep things inside. So if you're going through something, find someone to talk to, find a friend, a family, a therapist, whatever, to talk to about it. We have a podcast, so when we have
we're always talking.
traumatic happen, we just talk about it